Day 30, Enhancing My Language Brain blog. So the final of my 30-day challenge, and as you can see, I'm in the most amazing place with fantastic waterfalls, fantastic rock pools around me, and here rain, and I think in the background you might see some people bathing in the river there. There is in fact a storm brewing, so I think when it starts thundering and lightning we may all start running. And I have to say I've just been very impressed by one gentleman who's taken a leap of faith from some rocks, plunging into the water to get to the other side, and he has in fact been the only brave soul to do that. Obviously he must know that he is safe to jump in that area, but it made me think, you know, how many times do we have to take that leap of faith in life? And getting to know my brain is probably one of those leaps of faith. At a conference in March in Brno in the Czech Republic, I actually asked the audience, what is the reason for us not wanting to discover more about ourselves and our brains? And one very brave young soul replied and said that it's very scary. And I think he's right. I think he is really right. I think we are very scared of finding out about ourselves, of understanding our own brains. So as you know, over the last 30 days I've really been trying many things. I've been testing out my emotional brain by abseiling into caves, horse riding on the beach, getting in touch with my awareness of social and emotional pain, of my own traumas and how to deal with those from past events, and getting the brain into that synchronicity and connecting all the channels of the brain. You know, I've tried Sudoku, Tetris, I've tried eye movement desensitization into testing gratitude, testing my reward circuits, testing mirror neurons, and installing new habits, trying out the meditation in the morning instead of the afternoon, exercising every day, changing my diet totally. One thing that I didn't mention to all of you, but actually it's been now 8 weeks that I do not drink alcohol, and that's one of my new installed habits, where I'm not going to be drinking alcohol. And I've been surprised at the effects over these last 30 days on my own brain, and I've been observing myself very closely. So what have my insights been from these 30 days of observing my brain and wanting to enhance my brain? Well, as a consequence, I have lost weight. I've also become more aware of the ups and downs of my brain, and maybe even understood how to troubleshoot those ups and downs more. So it's almost like surfing those brain waves and knowing how to handle them at all times, because we do go through different pace of waves of events, of traumas, of whatever. Daily life is full of it. So I think I've noticed that I'm able to surf those brain waves much more. I've noticed much more focus and attention, so I haven't been multitasking. I've purposely focused on things one at a time and got more done, definitely. I do think that one insight has been this question of accountability, and having all of you as my accountable partners has really had an impact on getting me doing things and really thinking that I am to be held accountable. I've also learned how to push myself into the creativity flow again. I've connected back in with that. I now understand what I really need to get there, and even to get there very quickly. Everybody's different, so I think I've connected with going back into that childlike excitement for things, which then pushes me into dreaming and creativity, and then pushes me into that flow. And I do think as well that I've noticed how much over the last 2 weeks my prefrontal cortex has shut down. So almost the calm, silent prefrontal cortex, which has been wonderful, and really just living the moment. Now, have I been productive? The whole objective of this particular 30 days Enhancing My Language Brain blog, have I been productive? Well, I have finished my teacher trainer manual. I've even done an additional teacher training manual with key messages on it. That was not planned, and I've done that as well. I am just over a quarter of my Spanish audio book, so that's on the way, and this weekend I'll be doing more. So by Monday I should be at least 3/4, and by next week should be finishing that. I've started my grammar book, and I've actually set myself another objective, which is the 6th of September, to finish that, ready for the editors to take hold of that. In the meantime, I've conducted refresher course, online course, all my courses, I've delivered them, plus I've been with my clients. So I would say, on the whole, in these 30 days, yes, I have been extremely productive. And I could even go so far as to say that maybe I have been, if I could quantify it, as 70% more productive than normal. And it's been a wonderful experience, and I do thank all of you. I've had a lot of you contacting me. I've had a lot of my coaches, and even people from other walks of life, and people who are not connected to me, connecting in. And I'm grateful to all of you for following this blog. I do hope it's given you some insights for yourselves, for you to go away and try things and experiment with your brains. And maybe the more that all of us start to really understand ourselves, the more that we can help others to understand themselves. And one of my major objectives is really to bring this message to the teaching profession and to education, where teachers really start to understand the impact, whether positive or negative, that they have on a learner, and how teachers can really think about enhancing the teaching process with a very holistic approach. Coaching, neuroscience, even coming into some of the new questions like mindfulness, neurofeedback, emotional intelligence, practical intelligence. There's so much now that we can bring into education. And we know that education is one of the strongest weapons that we have. So let's see how we can bring education into the 21st century. Thank you everybody for being there. Next week I will be launching my ebook, and I'll leave you a little bit of a note at the end of this video for that. But as a reward to myself for these 30 days, on Monday morning at 10 o'clock, I'm going to be doing something extraordinary. On the one side, I'm terrified, and on the other side, I'm excited. So think about me on Monday morning, 10 o'clock European time, and later next week, I will let you have a little insight of what I have done. Take care wherever you are, and thank you for being there. Don't forget how awesome your brains really are. Bye.